All right. Once there was a great Talmudic scholar. In the Litvisher yeshivas, they know the name of who the scholar is. I don't. I heard the story. It's a very, I think, a very illustrative story. So there was a great Talmudic scholar. He had a known throughout the whole Torah world, person of impeccable integrity and genius, etc. And he had a daughter that he wanted to marry off. She was a God-fearing person, ideal wife for any Torah scholar, ideal wife. And he happened to be a person. A lot of times people want their children, their daughters want to get married according to a good family, a rich family, but not him. He wanted a pupil. He wanted her to get married to someone who was genuinely interested in the Torah and also a genius learner in the Torah. Okay, so he figured out what to do. He decided he was going to go to the big yeshivas, the big places of learning, where there were hundreds of boys learning. All of them were eligible bachelors because they were all, these yeshivas are unmarried boys. And he would ask them a difficult question that he had in the Talmud, a contradiction between what it says in this place and what it says in another place, and then the Tosfot and then commentaries. He had like 4 or 5 commentaries that they all seem to contradict one another in the Talmud. And if anybody could explain it. So we went to these different yeshivas and he made it clear. He spoke, of course, to the head of the yeshivas. And the head of the yeshiva says, we have a special guest today, Rabbi, whatever it is, Zundel. And he is, once his daughter, says that he's going to marry his daughter, consider marriage to the most eligible young man. And who can answer this question? And he puts the question in front of them. And the boys sit there and they learn the whole night. Nobody has the answer. They sit and they learn. And they try to figure out the answer. The morning, the rabbi comes back and he says, does anyone know the answer? No, we don't. We thought about it all. Maybe like this, maybe like this. No, that's not the answer. We don't know. So he went to another place. And so it was, he went to like 10 different places of learning, yeshivas. And the question was so strong and so clear that nobody got the answer. No one could get the answer. They thought of maybe potential answers, but all of them realized that their answer was insufficient. No, he was starting to sort of give up. He went to another yeshiva. He asked the question. The boys sat up all night. No one got the answer. In the morning, anyone got the answer. No one got the answer. And he said, okay, I have another 5 yeshivas on my list. He went outside, got into his wagon, told the driver to drive his carriage. All of a sudden, one boy comes running from the yeshiva, running. Oh, he said, this young man, stop the carriage. Yes, young man, you have the answer. Young man is huffing and puffing. He's standing there with his pencil and his paper. He says, let's see what you have written down there. He said, no, I don't have anything written down there. What is the answer? What is the answer to it? He said, oh, you're interested in knowing what the answer? You're a candidate to marry my daughter. You're going to meet my daughter. If my daughter agrees, I'll marry you. Someone that's genuinely interested in the answer and not interested in my daughter, that's someone I want for a son-in-law. That's a son-in-law. But something like what we learned about over here, about the sacrifices, we're doing it only because God wants, not for any benefit that I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to be a good Jew. I'm going to be a good servant of God. I'm going to go to heaven. I'll get forgiven for my sins. But not interested in anything. The main purpose of the sacrifices is God said he wanted it. The truth. What is the truth? That's what the truth is. And that's why you want the third temple, that will be able to, again, give God pleasure. Why God gets pleasure from the sacrifices is totally incomprehensible. Makes the opposite of sense, but he does. It says it in the Torah. And that's why we want the third temple, that we can again resume this relationship with God, which is higher and better than anything we could possibly imagine. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, God willing, there will be a class tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you for coming.